Hey, welcome back to another episode of the $1 Million Body Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Nate, and if you're here, you're probably listening because you're a high performer, a business owner, entrepreneur, or in some commission-based job where you need a lot of energy to feel your best, to get a lot of work done. Normally, we stream these episodes live in the $1 Million Body community on Facebook, so if you're not already a member, definitely go to n8trainingsystems.com/group to jump in there. I'll approve you ASAP. Today, I'd like to start off our podcast by giving a shout out to one of the members of the $1 Million Body community who's accomplishing some big things. So I have two shout outs today. Number one, Mariah. Group member Mariah has been accomplishing so much. She just posted recently that she is making huge strides, getting down to the lowest weight she's been at in 7 years, and we're not stopping yet. Okay, so I just want to give you a shout out that you're doing an awesome job, Mariah. I really appreciate your hard work. You just crushed our three-day sugar detox. So I just want to say, amazing work. Keep it up. The other person I wanted to shout out right now is Eric Kelly. Eric's down over 80 pounds in the last year just by putting in some simple principles, training hard, and just being accountable. Eric, you are an absolute beast. I really appreciate your work and your work ethic, and I cannot wait to see that 100-pound mark as we get into the 2021 right now. So, without further ado, I wanted to jump into talking about fasting. There are a lot of different types of fasting. Fasting is a very hot thing to talk about. And I think for most of us, if you've been around fitness, nutrition, and anything like that for a long time, what you come to think of as fasting is like this idea of a 16-hour feeding or fasting window and an 8-hour feeding window. Popularized by a guy named Martin Burkhan, who is a shredded son of a bee. He has a blog called Lean Gains, and he's been posting about it, talking about the style of fasting for years, bordering on decades maybe, I don't know. I started reading him in 2013 or 14, but this has definitely like become one of the fastest growing and most popular types of fasting. Another type of fasting that people kind of associate with is like the biblical style of fasting, either like a 3+ day water fast or juice fast. I think one of the ones that I hear a lot of people doing is a 7-day water fast where they don't eat anything aside from water for 7 days. There's a ton of different styles as well, right? And basically, anytime you're going without eating, you're fasting. So at what point is it actually a fast? And what are the benefits of fasting? What's the best kind of fasting? And how can I be so confident as to say that? So before we jump into it, real quick, I want to tell you what you're going to learn in this episode. We're going to talk about the best type of fast, what type of fast you should avoid if you're female, how to get the most out of your fast, what breaks a fast, and then how you should go about what you should eat as your first meal getting done with the fast. So first of all, the frame that we're looking at this through is going to be different for everybody, right? So you might meet some like transcendental yoga teacher who's like 7-day water fast. That's your thing. And maybe that's their thing, but the way I'm looking at this is how can we burn more fat? How can we have more energy? How can we not feel like a sloppy sack of shit when we're done fasting, okay? And for that reason, I'm going to start by saying anything longer than a 3-day fast is detrimental to your health, period, okay? Yes, there might be some mindset benefits. There could be some other like detoxification benefits. But at the 3-day mark, your body will start breaking down tissue, essentially muscle tissue, because it's got a bunch of tasty, delicious proteins and amino acids in them. So it's much easier for your body to break down some delicious muscle tissue than it is to start burning fat where there's not as many like vital nutrients stored. So beyond 3-day fast goes really, it's not in the scope of this podcast. It's not, in my estimation, reasonable or applicable or something that needs doing. If that's your thing, great, happy for you. But just know that for a physique, for fat loss, and for energy, that's too long, okay? So what is the best? Well, let's talk about really 16 and 8 real quick, because that's a popular type of fasting. It's pretty easy. A lot of guys can get some good results with this. But for females, a 16-hour fast can be detrimental when done for a long period of time. Now, fasting, just like training, is a stressor. Now, it's a good stressor. It's something healthy. We're leaning into like health, detoxification, a process called autophagy, which is your body breaking down old cells, cleaning them out, and replacing them. So it's all good, except when it isn't, until it isn't. Okay, so for females especially, this stressor can be a lot of angst into your reproductive systems. So as females, like their body's main goal is to stay alive and be able to procreate. So up until you hit menopause, that's one of the main goals of your body. Okay, so if you're doing a 16-hour fast, you're constantly putting yourself into this low-grade stressful situation. So over the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, this can be okay. A lot of women will get good results with that time period. But after a while, progress starts to slow. You'll start sleeping a little bit worse. You might like miss your cycle, like not have the correct periods. Your hair might fall out. These are all really bad signs that you need to stop doing an intermittent fast right away and probably get your blood work checked and just resume a normal pattern of eating. So in that vein, I never recommend a 16-8 fast for females. The much better idea is a 12-hour fast and a 12-hour feeding window, even if you're eating light during that time period. I think that's still a better long-term strategy that's more sustainable, and also can lend itself to the type of fast that I do think is the best ever. Okay, and I'm going to explain that what exactly the best type of fast is in a minute, and how you can accomplish it and what you should eat at the end of it. Stick around, stay with me. If you're a guy and you like the 16-hour fast, awesome. Just remember the same typical things can kind of apply there. You don't want to do this at the detriment of your health. So if your hair is falling out, if you're not sleeping well, that might be a sign that you need to stop fasting. You probably have too much stress in your life. Although I don't know what it could be from. We're doing fine. Everything's fine in America. You don't even stress about it like everything's good. Just, I don't even want to know why are you yelling? Why are you yelling at me? So with that in mind, here's the best type of fast that in my experience, personally, with myriad clients from all different types of ages, demographics, genders, the best possible way that you can fast is by doing a 24 to 48 hour fast. Okay, 24 to 48 hour fast done either weekly or bi-weekly. When I say bi-weekly, I mean every other week. Sometimes people think that's twice a week. Brad Pylon has a book called Eat, Stop, Eat, where he recommends fasting twice a week. I think that can be a little bit excessive, bordering on uncomfortable and not sustainable. So the reason I advocate for a 24-hour fast done weekly, 24 to 48, is that this is a sustainable practice that you can just work into your life. It's very easy to incorporate a 24-hour fast if you do it right. For example, in the $1 Million Body Group, we just finished our 3-day sugar detox, which is a process of giving your body a ton of nutrients and then fasting for 24 hours. Here's how we broke it down. Is last night, Tuesday, we had our final meal a little bit early. So most of us are ending our days around 6 o'clock, finishing up our meals around then. And then we stopped eating at that point and then had dinner again, or we'll be having dinner tonight at 6 o'clock. So giving us a 24-hour fasting window, but not taking a full day off. The next way to kind of push that out is by, again, like not eating that dinner and then going till breakfast and breaking your fast at breakfast. And then the longer version would be not eating until that second day dinner time at that point. So a 48-hour fast. This has so many great benefits because I think that there's physical benefits, mental benefits, and then like some like benefits that even transcend both of those things. Number one, it's great to have a binary way of looking at your food. Yes, I eat, or no, I don't eat. Okay, there's no carbohydrates, there's no measuring calories, there's no scooping proteins, there's no wondering if carrots are actually healthy or if they have too much sugar in them. It's just I eat or I don't eat, and that's it. Okay, that's so helpful for a lot of type A hard charging people who have a lot of stuff going on. Okay, one of the group members, Donna, I want to give you a shout out right now. She said for her fast today, what she did was she did her walk in the morning, 45 minutes, back-to-back client meetings all day. And she was like, what fast? I've just been busy. And that's perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. For a fast like this, do not try to do it over a weekend. It becomes a lot more difficult, as well as you'll start seeing how many times per day you are thinking about making food, eating food, going to get food, picking up food somewhere. It really shows you how essentially we as Americans are obsessed with eating. We think about it all the time. It's amazing what happens when you take that away and you say, no, we're not doing food today. it's amazing all the other productivity you can get into, how much stuff you can get done, all those tasks you've been putting off, and sticking that, that sticky note here, you're like, just put that there for now. Well, now you're going to go ahead and get those done because you have so much more energy to put towards getting the little tasks, getting work done. So it's an amazing way to get more productive, have more energy. Okay. In the $1 Million Body group, we talk about fasting as a weekly investment. Okay. Fast 24 plus hours every week. That's a weekly investment because there's so many great benefits to this. Okay. So one of the other benefits is fasting will actually improve your insulin sensitivity and your hunger signals. So if you go 24 to 40 hours without eating, what will happen is your body will start balancing out these hunger signals that have been sent to your brain kind of mistakenly because you have a disordered relationship with your body's chemicals, insulin. So you get these hunger signals and you're like, I just ate, but I am kind of hungry. So instead of grabbing half a handful of blueberries, your body might need to balance out some of the blood sugar issues you're having. What do? We go have half of a donut or get a sandwich or something. And so now we're back in digestion mode. We are again going to crash after that because it's pulling all of our blood to our stomach and our brain, or pulling our blood from our brain to our stomach, from our appendages to our stomach to digest. So we go back into a place of digestion, which is not a place of energy and focus. So when we're not eating, we can be on more. Our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight, is activated. Fight or flight also seems like I'm about to get into a car accident or a cheetah's chasing me. So I prefer shake and bake. So we can just kind of use that from now on. That would be great. Okay. Fasting can provide kind of like a nutritional insurance. So if you're not eating for a full 24 hours, you're basically cutting out 15% of your weekly calories. Okay. So if you do end up going to Dairy Queen, or you do end up having tacos every night, or you do end up having a couple beers on the weekend, you are already coming from a deficit. So you have a little bit more flexibility, a little more wiggle room to play with. Okay. So I'll tell you a story about insurance. I think most of us think of insurance as a bad thing up until we need it, right? So I was in Seattle. I'm driving down a hill from my house, trying to go get some delicious food, right? I'm not fasting this time. So I'm driving down the house. I'm trying to get some delicious food. And all of a sudden, a driver blows a stop sign to my left, shoots out of nowhere, boom, runs into my car, and we spin 2 full rotations. And we end up on a lawn of a house right over here. And I'm screaming, everyone's screaming. I'm probably crying, I don't know. Get out of the car. Go, and the guy who hit me, blew a stop sign, hit me. It's out of the cartoon. He's like, hey, can I see your ID? And I was like, what? You want to see my ID? And so I'm trying to figure out if everyone's in the car is okay. We're trying to figure out who needs to call the police, get a police report. And someone stops on the side of the road. He's like, hey, are you guys all okay? I'm like, well, I think we're okay. We're doing fine. And then they go, did that guy just leave? Turn around. Sure enough, the guy who blew the stop sign and T-boned us had just gotten in his car and taken off. And I was like, oh, I've read about this. I did not know this was going to happen to me. I did not know this was going to happen to me. So it was really depressing. I went to the hospital, had a little concussion, all these things. But then the next day, we got a call from our insurance. It was like, hey, go get a rental car. We got you covered. We'll bring your car in. We'll take care of it. You got a $500 deductible. Great. We're gonna fix your car up. And it was such a breath of fresh air. Just so much relief in a trying time, kind of a stressful time where we were like, okay, great. We can rely on our insurance that we've been paying into to take care of this for me. And it's the same way with this. You have that nutritional insurance. If you're trying to cut some weight, you're trying to burn some fat, you're trying to get better focus, this insurance policy you can just work in by literally not eating is extremely valuable. Okay. Fasting also improves your focus. Okay. We talked about before, it's binary. There's a lot of choices around us too. So when we're able to cut out an entire subset of choices that we're dealing with on a daily basis, Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms, bagel or toast. We're gonna have oatmeal, or we're gonna have a smoothie. We're gonna have eggs or pancakes. We just take out all those choices and say, no food, that's it, we're done. It makes making other choices later on down the road a lot easier. Plus, if you want, Robin Sharma has a great quote that says, if you want to get more done in life, eat less food. And that's in the book. You can see it right here. You can see it in my quotable section. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. And then I think finally, fasting improves your discipline, okay? It's tough. It's tough to be on all the time and be like, okay, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna go train, I'm gonna do these things, I'm gonna go do work in my business, I have to do this, I'm gonna do some prospecting, I'm gonna make these calls, I'm gonna send these emails out. But when you're fasting, you shift into a different mental state of like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not eating food right now. And it solidifies the fact that you are a badass. You can make tough choices and you can push through adversity. And that's so valuable too. So with all those things in mind, this is the ideal type of fast, a 24-hour fast. And you're going to want to do it on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, depending on how aggressive you want to get with your fat loss goals. Okay. I generally recommend people for starting out. And we are going to be doing this as a part of the $1 Million Body Method starting on the 18th. So if you want to get involved with that, drop me a like below. Drop me a say, I'm in. I want to fast. Say, I want to fast. I want to try to fast. We're going to be doing this. I'm going to walk you through specifically how you should be fasting, what day you should be fasting, what are you going to eat after the fast, how you're going to eat the rest of the week, and just how do you make the most out of a 28-day really dialed in fat loss program. Okay. And one of the things I love about this style of eating is that it's not necessarily a book that's here's how to drop weight, here's how to do keto diet. A lot of people call this cheater keto, by the way. It's about how do you eat in a way that prioritizes your energy, prioritizes your efficiency, prioritizes your focus, and oh, by the way, I call it holy shit fat loss. Like, holy shit, I lost, like, look at my pants, they don't fit anymore. That's what we're going for. That fat loss that occurs when you're not actually like paying attention to it. We're not grinding on it because you just set up your life, your daily habits, and the really important, the big rocks in a way that's going to facilitate the fat loss that you want. So when I ask my clients, I'm like, how's your nutrition going? They're like, well, I don't even think of it as a diet anymore. This is literally just how I eat now. And that to me is a huge metric of success. So the final thing is when you finish your fast, you want to automatically go and have a very, very high nutrient dense meal. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're prioritizing vitamins and minerals in a way that's going to set your body up to digest food better, to have a ton of energy. And again, resetting some of those faulty signals that we get, all those hunger pangs that we're like, is that, am I thirsty or am I hungry or do I really need this donut? And your body's like, yo, eat the donut. Eat it. We want it. We need it. We're going to reset those faulty signals by making sure that you're getting a great meal afterwards. So there's a couple of vital nutrients that you should definitely prioritize in that. You want to make sure you're getting enough magnesium. You want to make sure you're getting the right amount of sodium. And then there is a mineral called selenium that's actually has been shown to have some really interesting effects, especially when used to break a fast. So make sure you're getting the right quantities and the right types of nutrients. And if you want to know exactly what those are, A, I'm going to tell you in the $1 Million Body Method, but B, you can just go over to the $1 Million Body group because I laid it all out for everyone in there yesterday. So check that out. Make sure you join up with us in the group. n8trainingsystems.com/group will get you there. And other than that, I want you to know that this is a tool. This is a tool in your toolbox. This is not the end-all be-all. This is not something you have to do. This is a tool in your toolbox that can be used when appropriate to get you the results that you're looking for. Okay? Keto's a tool. I'm not going to give carnivore diet any credit because that's some bullshit, but keto's a tool, Whole30 is a tool, going paleo is a tool, high intensity interval training, HIIT is a tool, cardio is a tool, resistance training, these are all tools. Nothing is the best or the most, including but not limited to the $1 Million Body Method. This is an awesome tool. I got to say that because I wrote it, but it's just a tool, okay? And my goal with this is for you to have a 28-day framework that you can fall back on at any given time to be like, all right, I got to get back to my basics where I was feeling my best and had a ton of energy. So guys, this book's coming out on January 28th to February 1st. January 28th to February 1st. It's going to be free on Amazon to get the ebook. If you could order it and leave me a review at that time, that would be highly effective and very helpful for me to skyrocket on the charts. Other than that, you can buy the hard copy on February 1st. If you're really nice, I will sign it for you, ship it to your house, put some of my cologne on it, rub my musk on it, whatever you want. You can get a little weird with this. But the $1 Million Body Method is also a tool, and I don't really hold anything back on this. I got all the information here. If you want it all laid out for you, I also have that ready to go. But if you just want to you're like, what's in this? How is this so magical? Why is this giving me superhuman focus? buy the book. It's all in there. I got it for you. No problem. So I'm super excited about that. Once again, fasting, check, like if you haven't started doing that in your life, you need to do it. It's so good for fat loss, for nutritional insurance, for your mental, like making sure that you're not overwhelming yourself with choices. And I already mentioned that fasting is going to help you live longer. It's true. It's true. All right, y'all. Hope you're having an amazing day. Talk to you very soon. And if you need anything else, or if you want to fast with us, just say, I want to fast in the comments here, and we will get it going. Talk to you soon. And let me just leave you with just a quick quote that I think is important. But Babe Ruth said, "You just can't beat the man who never gives up." And I want you to remember that today.